Hi all, Ashley here. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to do a real-time process tutorial video for how I made these little shadow sequins boxes. They're 1/4 inch deep, and we'll go through the full process. These are the two that I already made. We'll make one more today. And then yeah, originally I was going to make this as actually a cover page for a 4x4 mini album, but I think I might do something else now that I'm making multiples of them. But first of all, let's build our box. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is a 6x6 piece of cardstock paper, 6 inches by 6 inches. By the time we're done making the frame, it's going to actually be 4x4. So let's pull out our scoreboard. And my score tool. And just so you get a sense, like this is the end product, the end shape we're going for. And so how we're going to get there is score 5, 5 1/4, 5 1/2, 5 3/4. And then turn the paper around, same thing. 5, 5 1/4, 5 1/2, 5 3/4. Turn the paper around, same thing. And then last side. Okay, so your page should look something like this now. Okay, and then take any side. We're going to score from the top to the bottom of the fourth score line. So just this one little section right here. We're going to score at 1 1/4 and then 4 3/4. Just that little bit. Flip it around so you've got the exact opposite side. So you've got top, we did that score mark. Now flip it around to the bottom. Same thing. 1 1/4, 4 3/4. Okay? Can you see that? Yeah. So top and bottom, we did that extra little line. Okay. Now let's cut out some bits that we don't need. So on all 4 sides, we're gonna cut I think this would be 1 inch, yeah. 1 inch by 1 inch off the corners. So the first original 4 lines we made, 1 inch by 1 inch, cut off all of that. And then on the top and bottom where we made those little extra score marks, we're going to use those as like, okay, so we're going to, from the bottom, make this little mark. So up at an angle. Boom. Boom. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is going to be our guide of what we're going to cut here in a second. So we've just made these like little tabs that we're going to be cutting. Okay, so then let's fussy cut that part out. So up at an angle. Straight. Angled. Like that. Okay, so your page should look like this. I'm gonna just clean up some of the pencil marks here real quick. Okay, now just gonna check everything looks pretty even. I think it looks fine. Let's score. So what I did actually for the other ones, you're not gonna see too much of this pattern paper, but just around the corner you will see the cardstock. So I made the textured side table down and then fold up at all of your score lines and varnish. Okay. And do this on all four sides. Okay, so you can kind of see how this is going to come together. We're basically going to roll these all together and then tuck them in. I kind of just, before I add the glue, because I'm going to glue all 4 sides all together at once, I just kind of roll everything up just to see, like, okay, this is how this one is going to look. Just roll everything up so it's kind of ready to go. It's just really well folded. Okay, let's do this one. And then I think because the sides are so narrow, like we only are doing a 1/4 inch of a shadow box, which is pretty shallow. This next part, when we actually add the glue, it's going to be a little bit finicky, but we will get there. So, okay. So before I add the glue, I'm just going to show you the whole idea is for these little corners to tuck into each other. So that's what we're kind of aiming for here. We're gonna get that to tuck in, and then we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom, and then that will be what the finished frame looks like. And just tuck the corner in. So I do this without glue first, just to make sure everything is gonna be a-okay. But then I'm gonna unravel this, add glue, and we're gonna remake this. So let me get my little scrapbook.com glue. This I just purchased recently, but I've been enjoying using it. Take out the little pin thing. And then on all 4 sides at the very last score mark that we had made, so at the very end, just add in a whole line of glue. I just do all 4 sides at once. I don't really know if that's the best way to do it, but that's what I do. Okay, let's rebuild it. One side's in there, pretty good. Let's get this last side going. 1, 2. Okay. So this is our frame. I am gonna let this sit under something so it has a moment to get nice and glued down. But this is essentially our finished frame. Oops. Oh, this needs a minute to set. Okay. Hey, cute. Let me put something on top of this. What should I use? Actually, first, before I put anything on top of it, let me measure just to make sure it's 3.5 by 3.5. Yep. Okay. Let's use maybe this one. Set that to the side and put this on top of it. This might not be heavy enough, actually. Let me use my charm box. Okay. So that is getting glued up. In the meantime, I'm gonna start thinking about what I want to put on the inside of it. So I made a kind of purple one, and I made a kind of pink one, pink and blue, and this one was like purpley. I love this one. I think this one is my favorite so far. So let's see if I can make one that I like more than this. Although I think this one's gonna end up being my favorite. But let's make one that's a little bit more blue themed, blue toned. I've got this piece of scrap paper here. And then let's close my glue. And then get out my trimmer. And I'm gonna trim this guy down. It was 3.5, but let's make it like 1 notch smaller than 3.5 so it fits in nicely. I kind of want this lighter side, so 3.5, 1 notch shorter. And then same thing, 3.5. Okay, and I'm gonna do a zigzag stitch on this just for some fun. Okay, never mind. I ended up pulling out the blue. I wasn't really liking how it was looking, so I'm just gonna go pink instead. So I used my double-sided tape and taped around the corners. You can use glue too, liquid glue if you want. And then around my frame, I used my scrapbook.com 1/8 inch tape. And so let's decorate inside. I think I'm gonna do a couple of the cars on the inside. I kind of cut off a little bit of this one so that it hangs off the side here. I like the look of that. So I'll add that one in, and then this one too. I'm just gonna use, actually, let's make it pretty sturdy. Let's use the double-sided tape again. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this one with a little bit of space. I know I'm gonna embellish the corners, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of extra. I'm gonna go right all the way to the corners so it'll get covered up too much. Just go there, I think that's fine. And then the second piece I'm gonna pop up. Put in some, it's got some foam on the back of it. Let's pop this out. Okay. That's good. You can see how slow of a crafter I am because I'm so finicky with things. I want to use this piece too. So yeah, I think that actually looks good. Okay, now let's make this a shaker. So we're gonna need some sequins. I've got some on my desk. So I'm just using a mix of different colors and a few of these little flower sequins, clear flower sequins. Just pop that right in there. Yeah, cute. I like it. I don't want it to be too full of sequins, so yeah, I think this is a good amount. And then I'm going to get a piece of acetate. Got some pieces here. I think this one will work because I just cut down some acetate. Let me grab my ruler. Where did that go? That's right here. Okay, we'll need a clear film 4x4. This is perfect. So I will adhere this guy down. And then to cover up the tape, I'm gonna cut a strip of 1/4 inch pattern paper to cover all 4 sides. So let's do that. I think I'm gonna use this wood piece. Let's see how this looks. 1/4 inch. I think that's pretty complementary to the cars because they've got a little bit of like wood brown color on it. Okay, yeah, I like this. So let's trim this guy. One more piece. I'm actually gonna check real quick to see if I have a smaller one before I trim this. I'm gonna see if I have a smaller wood strip. I do. Okay. Let's use that one instead. Oh, I think that looks really cute. Okay, I am liking how this is looking. I'm gonna add in my 1/8 inch tape to the back of these and stick those down. Okay, let's glue these guys down. Oops. Add a little bit of extra liquid glue on this corner because I feel like it's coming up a little bit. Okay. Otherwise, good to go. And then let's finish up the embellishing and we will be done. So I'm gonna stick to the car theme. I'm gonna add, like I said, this little car guy here at the bottom. So let's adhere this one on. So cute, I love it. Okay, and then let's add in some chipboard. Add in, just tuck in a little heart there. Super duper cute. And then let's add in a sentiment. I've been loving these Rosie Studio sentiments recently. Oh, by the way, this is a Paper Roses collection I'm using. I think it's old though, so I'm not sure if you will still be able to find it, but let's add in thinking of you. Do I want to put it there? Yeah, I think that's thinking of you. Put it there, or like right on top of the bunny. I think I like it here, right on top. Okay, and then I'm gonna add in another little heart and bear car up here. And then this is going to be the completed project. I'm probably going to like mess around with the embellishing for another like 15 minutes before I finally fully commit. So I will finish that off and then I will be back. All right, all done. I added in a little puffy and chipboard piece, and here is the final project. I think it came out so cute and fun. and I'm really excited to keep making with this. Like I said, I think this could make a really fun intro page to a mini album, but I think I'm going to make something else with these. And so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys are able to follow along with this tutorial. And if you do end up making anything with it, then please do share with me on your socials and tag me on your posts. And I hope you will subscribe and stay tuned for future videos. See you in the next one. Bye.